Welcome to the barber dress tutorial. This is a backless gown. I absolutely love this dress. It's one of my favorite patterns. I'm wearing it here on vacation and I always get so many compliments on this. I'm also wearing it in the mini version and it also comes in a midi. So I've made this dress many a times. As always, if you have any questions even after this tutorial, let me know. So let's get started on how you can make your own at home. So at this point, you should have already cut out all your pattern pieces and your fabric that is marked on the pattern, and we are starting out with the back. I am taking my main fabric and my lining and I am matching them up with right sides together, and then I'm clipping just at that center back opening, and then I'm going to sew all the way around. Remember that this is a stretch fabric, so you either want to use a zigzag stitch or a serger. Once that's all sewn up, I am going to turn this inside out, as you can see I'm doing here, and then I'm going to press it with a really light heat because this is a stretch fabric that we're using, just to make sure my edges are really crisp. I'm not going to top stitch this because I want it to just look very clean. If you would like a top stitch, that's optional, but I think it looks fine without it. For the next step, all I'm doing is taking my main fabric and my lining, and I'm connecting those with the wrong sides together with just a basting stitch. You can also do this with glue, however you choose to. It just makes life a little bit easier when you're connecting everything before we move on to the next step so that you're not forgetting any layers. Now that all of my main fabric and my lining are connected for my two pieces, I'm going to take the shoulder seams, and with right sides facing, I'm going to connect those and sew just at the shoulders. Once your shoulder seams are connected, when your dress is all laid out, it will look something like this. We're now going to work on our sleeve. We're going to take the top of our sleeve and match it up with the center of our dress when it's all laid out like that at the shoulder seam. And we are going to pin down on each side, making sure it's even. Once it's all pinned down, we are going to sew and repeat for the second sleeve. Now that we have our sleeve sewn in, our dress is starting to kind of resemble a dress. It should look like this. We're going to put that together inside out, so your right side should be facing, and we are going to pin all the way down the sleeve, all the way down to the bottom of the dress on our sides, and we are going to sew this all in one go to connect our dress and repeat for both sides. Once our dress is all sewn down on these sides, we are going to start on our neck piece. We are going to take our neck pattern piece and we are going to fold it in half long ways and then sew it down at that seam, again doing it long ways. I sewed this down off camera, but it looks like this. Now you're going to fold it on itself, hiding those seams, so it's basically wrong sides on wrong sides, and it should look something like this. Once you have your collar like this, we are going to put this inside of our dress and we're going to attach the two raw edges. This is, again, right sides facing right side, so my dress is inside out and my collar is on the inside. I am going to take the back seam of my neckband and match it up with the center back of the dress, and then I'm going to stretch and pin my collar. Your collar will be a little bit smaller than the dress, and we're just going to stretch that out till it all looks nice and even. Again, you use as many pins as you want. You can see I use a lot, and then sew that down to connect it. Now, if you're doing the mini or the midi version, all you need to do is roll up and hem those sleeves and then do the same for your bottom. I just did a rolled hem on my dress, and you're actually done with your dress, but we are going to finish this tutorial with the mermaid skirt, so you guys have the full instructional video. So for the full mermaid version, we are going to ruffle our skirt piece. I have one of my skirt pieces here with me now. We're doing this on the width part of the bottom, and basically I'm just doing a long stitch and then I'm going to pull all of those until it gathers. You can also use a ruffle foot if that's what you prefer. It is up to you. I just think it's a little bit easier to not mess with a ruffle foot and just do gathers, as you see that I did here with one of my skirt pieces. We will repeat this for both skirt pieces. Once both of your skirt pieces are ruffled, we are now going to attach this by placing the right sides of our skirt to the right sides of our dress and attach to the bottom, and not with a loose stitch. Remember to set your settings back to the normal one, and we are going to do this with just a regular zigzag stitch or a serge to connect our skirt. And we're going to do this for the front and the back skirt, so both of your ruffled pieces. You can see I'm using a zigzag stitch, and after I did that, I am just going to clean up those seams just a tad bit and cut off my excess. And then I'm going to take my front and my back skirt pieces and I'm going to attach those on the side with the right sides facing and sew those up. Once all that is done, again, same for the mini that we said earlier, what we're going to do is just roll over and hem our sleeves, and then we're going to do the same with the bottom. 100% optional if you would like to add a horsehair braid. I did for this one, so it gives your skirt just a little bit more volume and stiffness at that bottom. It kind of makes it flare out a little. So what I'm doing is I'm just rolling this over as I'm hemming and adding that into my hem to give my dress a little bit more volume at the bottom. And that is the end of your video tutorial. I hope that was really easy to understand and I hope you love your new dress. Thank you for purchasing the barber pattern. Please let me know if you have any questions.